Last time, the battle we've all been waiting for. It's a battle of horsepower as well as will into these corners. Borich can almost see the checkered flag. Chris Borich is going to win the Mammoth GNCC. A tough defeat for Walker Fowler. Today, a rematch. Hello everyone, welcome to Racer TV for the first ever Dunlop Limestone 100 GNCC in Indiana. Jason Wygant here to give you the call, and if you haven't watched the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series before, here's a brief primer. Today we're going to watch the fastest ATV riders in the world take on some of the nastiest terrain in a 2-hour endurance and speed contest. Chris Borich, your three-time and defending Grand National Cross Country champ, is your points leader. He narrowly edged out Walker Fowler at our last event. A lot of other riders gunning for Borich as well, not just Fowler, but don't forget the 341 of Brian Wolf. Started the year out injured, but we know that the family man and the working man has the speed on weekends to deliver wins. He's done it before. Let's get to know Brian Wolf.
I've always been around the motocross and woods racing for a while now. Work a full-time railroad construction job. My wife's a ER nurse, and this is just a weekend sport that we try to do the best that we can at and put every last effort we have into it. So it's exciting just to bring the family. The kids love to do it. The kids have four-wheelers. They just love to go out in the yard and ride around, and it's almost like whatever we do, there's a four-wheeler involved. Well, we had high hopes of the season being a good year, but we were down in Florida training, and I ended up getting an infection in the right hand. And the night before the first national, we had to go to the emergency room, and they had to cut it open and lance it and pack it full of gauze. Been kind of a frustrating ordeal, but another round or two and we'll be back up top.
Wolf is based out of Ohio. So is this young man, Walker Fowler, who, like we said, was narrowly edged out by Chris Borich in the last race. There's Kiser, the only other rider besides Borich who you see here to win a race this year. Borich has won 4 out of 5. Don't forget Adam McGill, still dialing in his Honda this year. He's certainly going to be a contender. Lots of competition today, and on an all-new racetrack, really hard to pick a favorite. Looks like it's time to clear the decks, turn the engines off, and get ready for the green flag. We're going to go racing here in Indiana. Short start straight here. Looks like the number 5, Fowler, on the inside, going to try to control it. But it's going to be the number 7, Jared McClure, who gets the whole shot award and then plows wide. Look out for the 26. That is Derek Swartfager, a motocrosser, who's up front. And Wolf here running our helmet cam, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Here he is trying to make moves on the number 10, Kevin Yoho, and the 14 of Gallagher. Looks like Yoho ended up in a tree, and Wolf takes a look over his shoulder. And wait a minute, now we have a shakeup. Gallagher coming through here toward the front of the pack. Same thing with Wolf, and here are the riders that were leading. They've been shuffled back. Apparently, as quickly as Swartfager got the lead, he made a mistake, and a couple of the riders right behind him tangled up with him, and that sent them toward the back. So right now, it's Johnny G, the very popular veteran out of Aurora, Ohio, leading the way. And these guys are deep down in the trenches. Looks like that pack that got held up has now caught back up to the leaders. And we've got about the top 10 or 12 riders all in one spot. There is Borich on the number 1. Bad start for him. That won't concern him. Oh, we got a pass to the lead. Yoho able to get around Gallagher. And nice job, Brian Wolf, providing us with first-rate footage of that pass with this Rocky Mountain helmet cam. Boy, is this track tight and technical. Look at Wolf trying to blaze a new trail, trying to get the second-place spot from Gallagher. He is on the gas, and Yoho is wrapped up in a tree. Let's see if this line pays off. Yes, it does. Brian Wolf from 3rd to 1st, and that's the way you have to do it when we're racing on a GNCC course for the first time. He took a big risk, and it paid off. Those three are still out front. Then it's McGill. Here is Kiser and Craig Bauman coming through next. So you can see a lot of riders have gotten tangled up out here. That has not only put Wolf into the lead, but every time we look at that pack from 5th on back, it changes completely. Now Fowler suddenly up to the number 2 spot ahead of Yoho and McGill and Kiser. And here is Bauman. And you can see the traps that this course will lay for these machines. You tag one of those rocks wrong, or even worse, a tree, and you're going to bend up some components on your machine. So you see Borich hanging back there. I don't think he's concerned about getting out front early. He rarely is, but especially on a track like this, they're trying to learn and has a lot of pitfalls. I bet you're going to see him hang back a bit and then put on one of his patented late race charges. So right now, Walker Fowler into the lead despite the bad start, and Wolf has dropped back to 4th. So a lot of action early on in this one. Good job by Yoho and McGill to stay with him. And next up, you're going to see Kiser, and here is Jared McClure on the Coastal Drilling National Guard Honda. Then it's the Can-Am of Bithell and Suzuki of Chris Borich.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
Racer TD is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Give you the highlights of our Can-Am morning race here from the Dunlop Limestone 100. This is where the big 4x4 machines get into action. Check out our upcoming schedule, the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. We'll have classes for utility machines, women's riders, beginners, youth riders, even our popular UTV class coming up at St. Clairsville, Ohio's Powerline Park GNCC on October 6th and 7th. From there, we'll be heading through Indiana and then the grand finale in November at Loretta Lynn Ranch in Tennessee. Be there. Bring your quad, too. Out front right now, Walker Fowler, Kevin Yoho. Things have stabilized just a bit since before he went to break. There was some wide open racing, but I think riders are settling in, and you got to watch for this tandem of Chris Borich on the number 1 and the number 4 of Chris Bithell. They're good friends, and the Pennsylvania boys, when they hook up, they have been able to make some impressive charges through the pack together, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them flying in formation. There's McClure, the number 7, and there comes the 2-pack, a yellow Can-Am and a yellow Suzuki. And Borich experimenting with some different lines there. Oh, we got a new leader. It's Adam McGill, who has taken over that spot ahead of Fowler. And Wolf up to the number 3 spot. It has been a roller coaster day already for Wolf. Then it's Yoho, Kiser, McClure, and here come the Pennsylvania boys, Borich and Bithell. Dare I start calling them the Killer Bees as well. Old 9-time champ Bill Balance out here. Got to be cheering on his riders. Fowler and Kiser are right up in this. That's the guy along with Borich where we started this Killer Bee thing. And how about this killer hill climb? It's rocky, it's steep. Dirt's pretty slick out here today. And the fans are cheering these guys on, like McGill on the Precision Moto Experts Lone Star ITP RG Motorsports machine. He is a privateer, but he is leading the way. Yoho looks like he's lost a little bit of ground, as has Kiser. Here's McClure, Bithell, and Borich. So something happened to separate that lead trio. Here you can see them. It's McGill, Fowler, and Wolf, and they have pulled a gap on everyone else. Whoa, big mistake there from Wolf. Wolf always rides so loose on the machine. He's able to carry a lot of momentum in sections. But a little mistake there. That's not the momentum he wanted to carry. And just as quickly as I say that, then Fowler apparently has made a mistake, and that allows Wolf to go to the number 2 spot. Fowler and Kiser are now 3 and 4. So the rider we've lost from the group is Yoho. This track has claimed a lot of victims, and Wolf is on the move again. He's up to 2nd, and he's looking to take the lead for the 2nd time today. He'd have to take it away from McGill, and now it's Borich in front of Kiser. And Bithell is at the back of this group. And Yoho's still in contention as well. This one has been fun to watch. And such a variety of terrain. Rocks in most of the sections we go through, but we've seen some tight stuff, we've seen some wide open terrain, and you can see it gets a little dusty in these wide open spots. So while this could give you the most running room to make passes, you also have the least vision. Now you see they're in the woods, and the vision not a problem. As Wolf tries to set up McGill, you got the Yamaha teammates, Fowler and Kiser. Then it's Borich and McClure. McClure, by the way, did officially collect the $250 Motorsport Hole Shot Award today. It's quickly edged out by Swartfager, and he has been in a come-from-behind mode all the way. And what line was that from Kiser? And Bithell and Yoho are going to follow him right through. Save a little bit of energy. Now, the official rule, you see some of the banners in the trees and the arrows. That'll guide the riders around. You need to stay within 15 feet of those arrows, so that's not a illegal course cut. It's a line that could pay off later today.
When it's time to get ready to ride, you need gear. It's time to go to RockyMountainATV.com. With the largest selection of ATV parts, apparel, and accessories, we have what you need at deep discounts. We have a huge state-of-the-art facility that ensures your order ships out quickly with accuracy that's second to none. Most items ship free and arrive at your door in 3 days or less. Visit our industry-leading website, RockyMountainATV.com today for the best prices, quickest shipping, online support, and largest in-stock selection around. RockyMountainATV.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Let's give you the highlights of our Can-Am morning race. We always say the women's class is as competitive as anything else out here. Here's your proof. Look at Angel Atwell and Tracy Checo just bumping and bashing early on, and then a nice line here from Checo. Then Atwell would get back into the lead. Angel, former champions class, trying to get it back from Checo this year, and it would pay off. She would win the women's class today on her Honda. Into the utility classes, another classic battle. Brian Buchanan, Zach Sikowski, Michael Swift, Andrew Langston. These guys are in battles like this just about every week. It's amazing what they could put these Can-Am Outlanders through. They really haul. You're talking 800cc, and some great four-wheel independent suspension on these machines kind of masks all the weight. And of course, four-wheel drive is nice on some of the ups and downs. Checkered flag in this one would go to Buchanan. He has won all but one race in that class this year. And of course, the dominator of the morning race is 50-plus-year-old Dave Simmons out of Ohio, railing to another morning race overall win. He is building quite a dynasty in this class. And smarter rider, knows how to take the right lines. And you can see what's interesting in this morning race. You'll get a nice mix of the women's riders, the beginners, and the seniors like Simmons in with the utility machines. And depending on the conditions and the terrain, we see the overall get all sorts of mixed up. Today, there's your top three: Atwell, Simmons, and Buchanan. That's a utility machine, a 50-plus rider, and a woman all the way in the top three overall. You cannot ask for more diverse racing than that. And back to our pro class. Adam McGill still leading the way, but for how long? Look at the competition. Top 7 riders are all right there, including Chris Borich, who's on the move now. You hear the fans cheering him on that Yoshimura Maxxis ride. Then it is Wolf, McClure, Bithell, Yoho. What happened to the factory Yamahas? There is Kiser, and there is Fowler. So they're to the back of the group. Certainly time to make up time. But remember, Fowler was leading this one early on. Pretty rocky this course. Everyone running tire balls now. Those are actual inflatable inserts inside the tires. It has made these machines virtually flat-proof. And it has completely changed the way the riders can attack these rough, rocky courses. And into the pits we go, and this is going to get chaotic because it looks like everyone is going to pull in. Borich going to make a right-hand turn, and he'll stop on the other side of this corner. That is Julie, Bill Balance's sister and the wife of Taylor Kiser. Certainly a tight-knit group underneath the Balance Racing Yamaha tent, whether they are pitting or not, and they are pitting there. You see them on the right side. There is Bithell in the Motorworks Can-Am pit. Borich was in there as well. We'll try to reset it once everyone is complete with their stops. And the order Didn't even change at all. Top-notch pit work, I guess, by everyone. Look at how close it is now, past the halfway point of this 2-hour GNCC. And we have some of the closest racing we've seen in quite some time. And dealing with all the pressure and dealing with it well is Adam McGill out of West Virginia, making it happen. As we said, he's gotten stronger each and every race as he dials in that Moto Experts Precision Honda. He was a factory KTM rider and factory Can-Am rider the last few years. He has put together his own program, and he's got that thing on rails right now. Look at this, picking up the pace and pulling away a bit from Borich and McClure. McClure, though, you got to give him credit. He is riding well on that Coastal Drilling National Guard Yoakley racing machine. He is hanging right with the leaders. McClure, 4th place at our last 2 races, wants that breakthrough, wants to put that machine up in the top 3 in the podium today. And McGill hopes that McClure and Borich, heck, battle all you want, boys. I'm trying to get away. And look at Wolf. We knew he would be much improved today as that injured hand began to heal up. And he's in the hunt as well. Yoho doing a good job in a privateer Yamaha machine backed by Big Nuts Racing. And I'm not going to touch that one. Literally. No change in the order here, but it looks like the Yamaha boys are beginning to move back up toward the lead group. And that will be Fowler and McGill. Now, what we hear after the pit stop is Fowler has had a few small problems with his engine cutting out at times. Remember, he was leading this thing. But all you got to do is just keep yourself in contention. And it looks like the Balance Racing teammates, the 3 and the 5 of Kiser and Fowler, are doing that. You have Bithell right there and Yoho as well. And we've seen a lot of ups and downs on this course, both literally here on this hill climb, but also in the results. We see a rider lead for a bit, then make one little mistake and go to the back. So if you can just stay in contention and be there in the final few miles, well, that's when the real results will be told. Fans here pumped on this ride McGill is putting in. He has really dealt with the pressure well. I know I said it before, but when you get to a course like this with so many lines, so many obstacles, and it's a new course, and you've got Chris Borich all over you, to hold the lead for this long is impressive. No pit stops this time. It's going to be hammered down toward the finish. No change in the running order. We're headed to the white flag. There it is. And how long can McGill hold on? He's got Borich right behind him. And if you watch these races before, you know how this scenario often plays out. Chris Borich just lines it up on the final lap and gets ready to make a move. And it looks like he's trying to get McGill right now. Stay with us.
Any engine. Any season. At home. At the track. Or on the trail. Amsoil, the first in synthetics.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Chris Borich has taken the lead here at the Dunlop Limestone GNCC, and the fans here in the woods, they want to see a race of it. They want to see one of these guys challenge him. Will it be McGill? Will it be Kiser? McClure, Fowler, Wolf, Yoho, each one of these riders has had their opportunity to lead this race. But it is no surprise that the one rider who did not lead laps early is the one out front late. That's the way Chris Borich does it time and time again. And he is in complete denial because he claims he does not race that way on purpose. I know his dad Joe would like to see him just get out front early and make life easy for the pit crew. Just pull a big lead, take the drama out of it. But for Racer TV, we're happy to see it happen. Now, often Borich doesn't take the lead until late in the last lap. Now, these riders are going to get the opportunity to see his lines, or maybe not. He is really beginning to pour it on and get away from McGill. Man, Borich pouring it on today on the Maxxis Yoshimura machine. He has won all but one race this year, and he wants to keep that going. Good ride by McGill. in second, but he has 3 second-place finishes on the year, so he's not going to be satisfied with that. These guys want the win in the worst way, but no one has figured out how to crack the code of Chris Borich. He does the same thing time and time again, and with a little bit bigger margin today, which is incredible considering how tight the racing was early on. And look at how rough this course has gotten, and Borich perfectly putting that Suzuki into the corners. Just using that rear brake to slide that thing around. And every time you get those situations right, what you actually save is a ton of energy. And in a 2-hour race where their heart rates had to be maxed, remember 2 laps ago they came in the pits, everyone was battling. You can save little bits of energy here and there, and that's what Borich does early in these things. And it adds up at the finish. And Chris Borich just making a run for the record books now. Here it is, Chris Borich looking for his 5th win in 6 rounds in 2012, and he's got it. He takes the first ever Limestone GNCC. Excellent run today by Adam McGill in the privateer Honda. He puts it into the number 2 spot for the 4th time in 6 races. And Taylor Kiser on the Balance Racing Yamaha is 3rd today. Here are your AMSOIL results. Fowler, despite some equipment problems, hangs on for 5th. Those are valuable points. Let's talk to our winner.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough track out there to pass. Lines were one-lined out there, but finally was able to get by Adam there, and I was like, all right, time to go, and just felt comfortable. The track was probably one of the best tracks we've had in a long time, a lot of fun, and everything worked out great, so I can't thank Suzuki, Yoshimura, Maxxis tires hooked up awesome out there today, so I'd like to thank everybody.
Here's your point standings. No surprise, Borich pulling away. McGill, Kiser, Fowler, and Bithell, though, in a great race behind it. Let's check back in with Brian Wolf.
Oh, it was fun. It was a lot faster paced race than I thought it was going to be for how tight it was out there. But it was a super fast track and rocky and rough, and it was fun being able to run back up front with the guys, having all the hand issues I've had this summer. But it was definitely a fun race. Glad to be back up there, and I got my mechanics working on the bike, and hopefully we won't hit no trees next round.
Yeah, Wolf, Jared McClure, and Jeff Pickens all hit trees today and bent up front suspension components. That's a big turning point for them. But the biggest turning point of all, it's our Can-Am race turning point, and it's Chris Borich making the move on Adam McGill late and then putting the hammer down and getting away. Put that one on record and then hit the play button, because that has been the playbook for Chris Borich. You see him nod to the pit crew there. He knows he has it on the last lap. Another win for your 3-time and defending Grand National Cross Country ATV champion. Thanks for joining us here from the first ever Dunlop Limestone 100. I'm Jason Wygant, and congratulations to Chris Borich.